Happy Tuesday and Wednesday, future ramen masters. Thank you very much for watching this special workshop. We are doing on halal ramen today. I'm a host, Akira Yamato Manufacturing, right? So we are talking about halal ramen, and then first of all, I'm a little bit nervous today because we're talking about something that we're not expert on. To be honest with you guys, right? We're not expert on halal cuisines, but we've been teaching. Over 2,000 people to the students, right? Professionals and non-professionals, over the past 2 decades on ramen, right? So we are very professional at, expert, we have like tons of expertise on ramen cuisines, ramen production. We've been teaching tons of people on, how to make like great ramen noodles, right? So, we are definitely expert on ramen, right? But like we are not expert on halal cuisine. But because of the growing popularity of halal cuisine, the halal ramen, right? So there's been a big demand, right? Increasing demand there. So well, we've been asked a lot. This is one of the most frequently asked questions by people who want to start serving great halal ramen, right? At the ramen shops, and then some of them actually want to start out ramen shops that specialize in serving halal ramen, right? So these are some topic that we've been wanted to explore, right? And then share some of the stuff that we've been learning, we've been experimenting, and then we've been teaching our school, right? So we want to dive into so today what we are going to do, what I do like to do, right? Share with you guys is that some of the basic stuff that we may want to know, right? Before we start out exploring the world of halal, right? So share some of the basics stuff like halal, what is halal, right? And then some of the restrictions, standards that we want to be aware of, when we are trying to make our our own halal ramen, right? And then for those of you who don't know the basics of our ramen soup, right? So we can definitely apply our ramen soup production methods into halal, creating halal ramen. So I'm going to talk about that too, and then I want to share some of the basics of noodle making, right? And then that can also be applied to creating your own halal dishes, right? So halal ramen dishes, and after that, Megumi is going to make some noodles that are we think going to be pretty good match for your own bowl of halal ramen. So stay tuned, and then so some of the special thing that we've been doing for this March, right? I think this is going to be the last second last, right, event that we're gonna share this code with you guys. For those of you who may be interested in getting a Yamato noodle machine for your business, right, this month. So I'm gonna share the secret code with you guys at the end of this workshop. So stay tuned until then, right? And then so let me get into some of the slides I prepared, right, for you guys, to share with you some of the basics of the halal ramen. So, all right, let's get started. So, halal cuisine, halal food market is very big, right? It's very big market. So, in 2023, I don't know this number, but that's what it said, when I did research, but I don't even know, if I'm saying this correctly, but 2,447.44 billion US dollars, right, in 2023, and then so and it's gonna be growing. It's gonna keep expected to grow even bigger, right? And then Islam is of course fastest expanding religion, but mainly Asian Pacific, right? And then so we have 25 million 25 million Muslims living well in China as well. Different countries, we don't expect much of the many Muslim people living, right? Right, we still have that many people, even Japan, right? We see a lot of Muslim people, who well, of course, definitely need to eat halal food, right? So halal, so you know, I think it's very important for them to, you know, capture like, well, know like where they can eat halal food, right? So in restaurants that serve halal food, so it's very important to remember. And then, so for these people like growing, population, we should be prepared to be able to like serve well, decent and proper halal ramen, right? So okay, so what is halal cuisine, right? Halal cuisines is like basically what halal means like what is permissible, right? What's allowed to eat, and then the opposite of acronym of this halal word, is it like haram, right? I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but haram, and that means like what is not allowed, right? What is not permissible. So basically, haram is like basically what they can eat, right? What they are not allowed to eat. So basically restrictions. So foundation of halal cuisine is built on what it avoids, right? So alcohol, basically the pork, right? And any product derived from pigs are strictly forbidden. And then some of the stuff that like we don't think that like use alcohol may contain alcohol, then they can. So like when I come across like all these people like for Muslim, and then whenever like we I go out with them like for lunch or dinner, right? I mean they're kind of suspicious, right? They're kind of suspicious of like what they serve like a restaurant, if they say that like it's halal, and then like but they're still kind of have this like sense of suspicion that like, well, this may contain some alcohol, like so but I mean it depends on the person, how strong they believe in the vision to it, but basically that's what we want to be aware of, right? So like how alcohol, pork, right, and any product derived from pigs, right? Um, so halal, right? Based on halal, like these restrictions, right? And then, so what are the challenges, right? What are the challenges that we have, like when we try to make the best bowl of ramen, right? So again, it needs to be pork free, right? Pork free, meaning stock toppings made of like probably we wanna think about, well, chicken, beef, right? So these are animal types, right? But like they need to be slaughtered in certain way, right? And following the Muslim like Islamic laws of like a method, certain method that they. So basically the idea is like the basic idea is like that we don't want the animal to suffer, right, unnecessary. So basically clean death, right? They don't want them to like so there's like certain ways to like slaughter these livestock to like for food consumption. So it's a very, I think it's very good ethical way of thinking. And then so the so these chicken and beef, right? I mean they basically need to be certified, right? By there's some like I think like 5 or 6 like major certification bodies of halal food, like halal certification, right? Um, so these like products, right? Food products like suppliers need to be certified anyway, by these bodies, right? Certification bodies. And then what vegetables, definitely okay. Like the fish, the seafood, okay, right? A lot of like fruits and stuff like that. Alcohol free, it's kind of a little bit tricky, right? So soy sauce, some of the soy sauce like we usually use, like regular soy sauce like that use, well, alcohol, certain form of alcohol, the mirin, other seasonings, right? So basically no alcohol at all, right? No alcohol used. So again, like soy sauce and stuff like that, I mean, need to be certified, and then these soy sauce taste different, right? Taste different from the regular soy sauce we use. So, we need to take it and take the difference into account when making our ramen soup, right? Then halal kitchen operation. No, that's another thing. That's another challenge that we have to overcome. Um, Again, like I don't know how to pronounce it correctly, but like the halal cleaning process. So basically purifying like equipment, all the equipment, right, we use in kitchen, in like an Islamic kind of, traditional ways, right? Basically washing the washing the equipment with like water mixed with some kind of soil, right? The kind of process that symbolizes purification in Islamic tradition. So and then like materials, right? Materials like used are, basically clean, right? I mean, basically clean, right? And then, not be mixed with like no halal food preparation tools, right? So, well, basically stainless steel, right? Plastics like and resin kitchen tools like made of like resin and plastic, like kind of, well, they have some like residues like accumulated, like then permeate into they accumulate into the like the plastic themselves, so they're not preferred material that are used in kitchen equipment, right? So um, so then like storage as well, right? How they store the food need to be stored in like dedicated containers, like containers that are made of plastic and stuff like that. And then if they store, if they have stored like some no halal food, then maybe contaminate. Well, so like it's very clean, like it's very rigid. So we want to be like totally separate all these things. So kind of getting into details of ingredients that we use for halal ramen, right? And then so basically we are talking about restrictions, like what we can use, what we're allowed to use, and what we are not allowed to use, right? And then so talking about all these like ingredients that are restricted by different diets, right? So halal, kosher, that's for Jewish people, and then vegan, of course, right? Vegan, so Oriental vegetarian, lacto vegetarian, like ovo vegetarian, lacto ovo vegetarian. So there are many like all these diets that restrict certain types of food to be used, right? Of course, like pork, right, and beef, like chicken, seafood without scale, alcohol, pungent roots, milk products, and egg, right? And vegan, and the difference, I think, vegan and halal, like probably more strict, one of the most strict, two of the most strict diets, right? But vegan, the difference between vegan and halal, so if we go vegan, then we can clear all the restrictions, halal, impose it, but still vegan is okay, like with the alcohol, right? So we want to be careful when using alcohol, and then in vegan, like we can probably use like regular soy sauce, but like in halal, we cannot use regular soy sauce. So we want to be careful when looking at all these different strict restricted diets, right? And then so what are the potential ingredients for that we can use for halal ramen, right? So basically, again, like no pork, no alcohol, rules, stamp, right? And then so base stocks, right? Base sauce, flavor oil. These are the three components that make up ramen soup, right? So basically, like we could think about like various types of vegetable, fruits, types of legumes, like chickpeas, seaweeds like kombu, mushroom, like dry mushroom would be probably better. Fish, right? And some kind of seafood, and of course halal certified meats, right? Then fermented, some kind of fermented, rice like drink or like other beans and stuff like that too. And base sauce, we call motodare, and then halal certified soy sauce, right? Salt, miso, and sometimes vegetable, mushrooms, or seaweed, spice and herbs. I love like Islamic food for all these like spice and herbs. So like we wanna probably incorporate like some of the typical spices and herbs that are used in Islamic food to be used in like halal ramen to because that's a uniqueness that we can bring into like your halal ramen, right? So and then flavored oil, so various types of vegetable oils, coconut oil, some oil, but basically the basic rule like when choosing oil type of oil is that like we don't want to have like kind of strong smelling oil, like olive oil, sesame oil kind of, but we can still use it to make certain types of oil. And so, and then we basically use infuse like some of the ingredients, the flavors and stuff like that into this oil, right? So we use some kind of seeds like nuts, vegetable, chili, and then what's fortunate about halal is that like we can use fish or seafood, right? So that's a very good flavor we can bring into our oil. The toppings, right? Toppings like various types of vegetable, legume product, right? Fried beans, curd, tofu. So yeah, but fish and stuff like that too, and then halal certified meats. Um, so these are the probably potential ingredients we could use for halal ramen. And I have like another slide like talking about like what what kind of ingredients we can use for like vegan ramen, right? But I'm just gonna just wanted to like kind of show the difference between like ingredients for halal and vegan. But basically kind of same, but like you know beef and stuff like that. No meat, right? And then no seafood or fish, right? And then kind of same slide that kind of showing the same stuff, but like yeah, but like so I guess fruits and stuff like that also are very good source of ingredients for especially stock, right? There's stocks as well. And then so we can kind of play around like between with this like all different types of ingredients for noodles like soup, sauce, right, oil and toppings, right? And then or if you are running a ramen restaurant that serves halal ramen, then you could have like option of like giving them like kind of other than noodles, right? You know, rice and stuff like that, quinoa as well. Um, so it's a challenge that we are facing, right? When trying to make great bowl of halal ramen, because we don't want to make just a bowl of ramen that's compatible with all the halal regulations, but which may not be good, right? Delicious. We want a bowl of halal ramen that's delicious and then wows our customers, right? So how can we do that, right? And then, so like it's a combination of ingredients. We want to take in like all the characteristics of ingredients, and then all the great part of like halal cuisines, right, into ramen, right? So now I just want to kind of like go into the production of soup, right? Ramen soup. So basically we looking at the kind of ramen we can make, right, for halal ramen, that we have like basically three types, right? Three major types, like standard ramen, so like hot soup noodle, and then sukemen style, like it's basically dipping noodle, right? Dipping noodles. So we have like less soup, but like more intense flavor, right? Then mazemen or aimen style ramen, like basically soupless ramen. So we want to have like sort of a stronger, you know, impression of noodles, like meaning basically thicker and then chewier, right? So like we have a bowl of noodles that can stand with the just noodles, right? And then with a strong flavored sauce. Okay, so basically the ramen soup, right? I mean ramen soup, like noodle soup, like standard ramen. Soup is consists of like these variables, like these components, right? So base stock, usually like 300 grams per serving, and then that's made of like well, in this case, a certified animal meat, seafood, and the vegetable and other like fruits and stuff, and then tare is very important base sauce, right? And then that's 3% to 15% of the base stock weight, right? Um, Basically three types, but miso, soy sauce, it's be certified. The salt type, right? And then usually we combine them, combine these different types of like tare, different ratios to create this, special tare for the particular type of ramen soup, right? And then flavored oils. Yeah, so basically these are the three components that we can have, we can create for your halal ramen. And then so tsukemen, right? Tsukemen style, like tsukemen type is so basically you have base stock, right? That's basically it's base stock, but like higher in density than regular type of ramen. And then usually 150 to 200 grams, right? And then we heat it to boil, and then we have tare, like which is significantly like more than the one we use for the regular standard ramen soup, right? So 50 to 70 grams of tare, like that's a lot of salt, salty level, salty amount, right? The komyu or like flavor oil, that's 50 to 60 grams. So, well, already having these two components in the bowl, we pour the hot base stock in there, like to create dipping soup, right? So that's the tsukemen dish. So again, like going over the halal ramen base stock, all these ingredients can be considered. The tare, right? The sauce, so we have, we can consider like all these ingredients, right? And then flavor oils, we can consider like all these ingredients, like different oil, different ingredients that need to be infused with the oil. And then toppings, of course, like fibers, different vegetables and mushrooms. And then protein, fat, certified chicken, beef, seafood, and then noodles, of course, right? Noodles, so wheat flour, the other types of ingredients. So, and I kind of want to go into equipment. Right? Equipment is again it's also important, right? In the halal kitchen environment. So base stock production for that we do like more on a daily basis, right? We won't have again like we are gonna have like a large we are cooking soup, right? Let's say like we are making a soup noodle dish, and then we have like in big stock pots like cooking up like certified meats like chicken, probably making heavy chicken python soup, right? And then stock. So we want to have like a big stock pot, and then we have very strong. Well, in this case, like in this picture, like in this kitchen that we have an induction heating cooker, right? And then you see like a bunch of stock pots like lined up, right? And then each of these stock pots are cooking like different ingredients, different stock, cooking different ingredients, right? And then we have like facets, right? Different facets like the round soft border, right? And then to supply clean water, right? Little by little to like kind of maintain a temperature of cooking water, to maintain the optimal cooking efficiency, right? And then so we want we all kind of then the water, right, evaporates over time. So we want to add the water to like kind of maintain the amount of water, right, to maintain the optimal cooking efficiency throughout the cooking process. So we have facets right around this salt water, right? And then we have we use the we may want to use like stainless steel probably, or like a resin spatula that tip of it like maybe like resin or something, or but this basically we are just keep stirring the ingredients right from the bottom to keep the ingredients from getting burned at the bottom. And then we want to have like a large sink, right, to quickly cool the temperature of stock, right, after we're done with the cooking, right? So cold water, and then quickly cool down the finished stock, right? And then so we basically keeping the measuring the the initial water line, right? And then salt and water ratio is like 2 to 1, right? 2 water and then ingredients, and then we always measure them by weight, right? Because that's more for more better precision. Um, the cooking based stocks, right? And then so we talk about like all of these stuff like on our e-learning course, right? That's available on um, online school that ematonoodle.com. But you guys can go like check it out. But so cooking based stocks, like well, basically we have two patterns, right? Two versions. So like a light version and then thick version, right? Heavy version, right? So like we are making high density stock or like in low density stock, right? So so there are ways to well get these two versions down like in the most efficient ways. So we've done this like well thousands and thousands times in our school. So we know from the data we've accumulated over the years that like okay how long it's going to take, right? And then what the density of this certain type of stock is going to be, and then how many hours it's going to take, right? So we have this all like covered in the data, so in the numbers. So yeah, so we know. And then the part of the thing that makes it possible for us to measure all this stuff is that like all these tools that we use, right? Measuring tools, they're important, right? So this is a refractometer that allows us to measure the salinity level of the water, and then another one is like well helps us measure the density of the stock. So this is very convenient, right? So that we can accumulate data, and then so we can compare this number with the actual taste, right? Actual taste, like we taste it, and then like oh it's okay. So this is a taste of the for example like measurement of density is of 8, and then we can tell by these numbers that we collected. So again, so equipment, right? So when we are cooking, especially heavier, thicker stocks like chicken, python stocks for halal, right? Halal, and then so we want larger stock pots than we need, than the amount of stock we are making, right? And the reason for that is like we want to boil it down from the certain density to get to the final density, right? So okay, so yeah, so the larger stock was like we are needed, right? The thicker the stock was, basically the larger stock was we need. And we had some comment. Thank you for the comment, by the way. So someone like who's probably knowledgeable than I am on halal cuisines pointed out that like there's no such specific cleaning procedure like tahara that like I mentioned. Sorry. Basically that was like some misinformation, a piece of misinformation, like I blotted out, but I'm sorry about that, but thank you for pointing that out. Appreciate it. And then so this is the probably one of the most piece of important information that we want to share probably on this workshop, right? So but this is this is true, right? I mean, this is something that we've experimented over and over to prove that like this is true, right? So soft water versus hard water in cooking based stocks, right? So hard water, if you cook the stock, right, hard water, then well, takes so long, and then or it does not produce like as good stock based stock as we can like when we cook the same thing in the soft water, because like there's a lot of like minerals like contained in hard water. And then these like minerals basically blocks all this umami and extraction to coming out of these ingredients. So we need to like cook them like for longer time, and then we need more ingredients, right, to get that same amount of stock, right? So well, for if you have to work with the hard water in your region, and then you want to install water softener, which is a very small fraction of investment, for the benefit that you get out of it. And tare, right? So tare, like, we create many types of tare, right? School, probably 50 to 60 different types, right? From scratch, right? And then we teach like, how how you can make it from scratch, every single one of them, right? But there's a principles that we use like when we are making these tare, right? Okay, what kind of soy sauce we use, like, what kind of salt we use and stuff like that, and then what the ratios are gonna be and stuff. But so basically, I share like two basic methods with you guys today. Is that like, so soy sauce, right? Soy sauce tare, and then salt tare. So what we're doing like tare, like making tare, is like basically the same thing we do like when making beige stocks. Basically, we are moving these like flavors, right, umami out of ingredients into these sauce or like salt water, right, to make this tare. So, but to extract like this umami, right, from ingredients into the liquid, we use like two different methods, right? And so one of them is heating method. So we usually apply heat, right, and then to extract umami from the ingredients into the soy sauce or salt water. And then unheated method, so basically soaking ingredients to the water and the liquid to get umami out into like soy sauce or liquid, without heating. So what's the difference, right? Is that like, well, we get like kind of pure, well, for example, soy sauce, pure soy sauce flavor from the unheated method, than the heated method. Okay, flavored oil, right? Flavored oil is like, it's actually very important. Like that's the third component of the ramen soup. Like, this is very important component for the great halal ramen soup. But basically, how we make it is basically very similar to like well, the production of it, like for sauce, then they stock, right? So basically, we are again like, well, extracting, infusing all these ingredients, flavor, umami into these different types of oil by applying heat, right? So it's very easy to do it, and then you can make like very different kind of garlic, chili. In this image, right, we make like, well, our favorite chili oil. You can make it actually very, very good chili oil. By, well, mixing like different well, chilies and like different well, string peppers and stuff like that. So it's very yeah. Okay, I was going to talk about noodles too, but like, I run out the time. I had like, it's already past 3 minutes from the time I thought I was going to finish this lecture part. So let's start making noodles for halal, right? And then halal ramen noodles are, can be like many different types, right? But today, right, I want to show you guys the one that be, well, our favorite, right? One of our most favorite halal ramen noodles. And so what you're looking at is our Richmond Gold one machine, and this is the all-in-one machine, right? It's one of the most advanced noodle machine models that we have for, of course, halal ramen, and then like variety of different ramen noodles, and then udon, of course, and then certain types of soba, pasta. So this is the silky mixer. It's a 10 kilograms maximum, but minimum is 4 kilo, and so we are doing 4 kilograms today, right? So what we're doing is that like we are adding these solid ingredients, right? Well, basically ramen noodle flours by itself, right? And then we start the mixer, and mix it for 1 minute, and now we added salt and cancel the water, and then want to dissolve them into water thoroughly before we can add it to the flour, right? In the mixer. So this is a wonderful, noodle dough mixer. It's designed to render, very good hydration of a dough. The speed is 75 rotation per minute, and then the body is designed to render, very optimize like agitation of the dough, and then the lid, right, mixer lid has these like very small holes that allow the water to be dripped through the holes, right, to be added to the flours, a little by little. So it helps hydrate the dough, very well. So this mixer is designed to, well, create optimized, well hydrated dough, right? And the total mixing time, like in this one, is 10 minutes, but like we don't want to waste your time, so make me prepare the dough in advance, right? It's fairly high in hydration, as you can see, like in this dough, like, well, the side of the dough is like a little bit fairly big, right? The crumbles dough is fairly big, and then so what we do, right, this which we go one machine is to place that dough, right, on the conveyor. Right now it's like, we are placing the dough on conveyor, right, and then we are going to make it into a sheet of dough, right, and then you're adjusting the roller gap, right, and then the initial roller gap is 1.5 millimeter, and now the dough is going to the being fed to the rollers, right, and then see the sheet of dough is coming out from the outside, and once we round it onto the rolling pin, and then the rest of the process, automatic, right? Automatic. So Richmond Gold 1 is very smart, and then so it knows how much like dough is being fed to the roller, and then so by measuring it, with the sensors, right? And then so it knows like how fast it needs to go to feeding, and so basically regulating the speed of conveyor to optimize the speed of conveyors to how much dough is being fed, so that we don't have to do anything. We don't have to touch anything to finish this process, right? This process can be like fairly cumbersome, like in the conventional noodle machines, where like we have typically we have like safety gate that protects your hand from going to the machine. So and then this safety gate prevents the dough, right, especially a big dough, from going in, right? So you may find yourself like opening up a safety gate a little bit and then stop the machine and then like while feeding the dough again, like through the one, then stopping the machine again, like, so it's it can be pretty cumbersome. But Richmond Gold 1 machine solve that problem of like to have like both safety and practicality of noodle making. So it's why we are confident in saying like you can put anybody who has no prior experience, like skill of noodle making, to operate this machine to be able to like make noodles that are as good as like professional noodle makers are capable of making, right? So after the first process of wrap forming, this dough is like still very fragile, so we want to make it stronger, right? We want to make it stronger. And how do we do it is that like we separate it into two sheets, right? And then we combine them through a roller. So we're feeding the two separate sheets of dough to the roller to make one sheet of dough, right? This way, like we are strengthening the dough. You know, we want to have very chewy, like crunchy firm dough, right? Yeah, so the dough that's coming out, right, is definitely smoother, stronger. Again, like you know, this process is automatic once you feed the dough, right? The first beginning of dough into the roller is automatic, right? So and then so this process is repeated twice because we found out that doing this process twice, right, it creates it produces the best noodle texture, right? So we've done like this process like experiment hundreds of times to find out this you know in most of the cases, right? I mean most types of noodles like for some certain types of noodle like per call for like one time like probably three times, but like the most types of noodles we found that like doing it twice produce the best results. So and at the same time like from this point on, right, you start running the automatic duster, right? We start dusting the dough, right? And then because we want to start preventing the doughs from sticking together after this second combine process, right? We are not gonna wanna combine them, right? So you want to start keeping dough from sticking. So after the second combining process, all we do is to thin it, right? Thin it to the final thickness. Yeah, and then and as you may notice, right, we are going faster by speeding up the sheeting process. So so after combining process, like all you have to do is thin it to the final thickness, right? So we can go faster, but then you want to check the thickness, 2.5 millimeter. Then so the the thickness is always bigger than the roller gap we set, right? And then so by measuring the thickness of the dough and then comparing it to the roller gap that we set on the machine, we know okay how much that dough bounces back, right? So this measurement is very important because then we can, yeah, this is the cutter we use, right? This is the round cutter. So the noodles come out like through this cutter with oval shape, ovals. So 16 is like about 2 millimeter, so like relatively thick for hot ramen soup noodles. And then it can probably be used for sukemen too, right? And then mazemen as well. So 2 millimeters. So we want to make it like thickness, right? Thickness is basically determined by the roller gap, right? And then the width is determined by the cutter size, right? So and then I'm gonna start cutting. So noodles coming out, and then so basically we found that um, many popular halal ramen shops, right, especially in Japan, are kind of going for a relatively thick, right? They're probably this size, around this size, and then like usually relatively high in hydration, right? And the hydration, like 38%, or so, right? And then so that's soft, and then the noodles are relatively thick. So this is a very good combination for noodle texture, high hydration, and then thick in size. And yeah, noodles that are cut in like a round cutter is like also kind of unique. Usually ramen noodles are like square shape. It's a little bit unique, and then that gives you like kind of unique texture as well. So another feature that this Richmond Gold One has is that like it's very easy on operator, right? So maybe just sitting on the chair, like in front of a regular chair, regular folding chair or something, and then just sitting in front of a machine, and then while comfortably while taking the noodles. So it's easy in the back. So it's very good. One of our favorite ramen noodles. I mean noodles for halal ramen, right? So that's number 16, round cutter, 38 hydration ratio. So it's a very good noodles for, yeah, many of the many types of the halal ramen. And so, well, today we just shared like some of the basic stuff, very very basic stuff that like we some of them we learned, and then we've been learning, and then we be teaching, ramen school, and yeah, well, e-learning schools about like online school that matanoodle.com, and so from now on, like we are going to be sharing it with you guys, like practical part of halal ramen. I'm probably going to share like some of the recipes, right? The some our favorite like ramen soup, right? For the halal as well. So please stay tuned. So like if you're interested in learning more about halal ramen, right? From now, like, please, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, right, already. And then please hit the like button, and then, hit the notification bell. Then, you won't miss any of the content that's coming out of us. I'm Martin Noodle YouTube channel. And as we promised, right? So this is a secret code that you can use, right? Send us by email, and then March, basically March, May, or to 2024 hyphen Richmond exclamation mark. If you can send this to us like by email or something, and then we can send you guys the special deal that you can unlock for this month, right? That's available until the March 29th, 2024, which is actually, in 2 days. It's gonna end in 2 days. But for those of you who are interested in like purchasing a Martin Roll machine, please send it to us, and then we can send you guys that special deal, right? And then so halal is like basically very probably challenging topic that we've been working on, but like it's a definitely growing market. And then Islamic food, definitely like halal food is one of my personal favorites as well. And then as we like as a company, like as we get more people like for who only can eat halal food, right? It's very interesting, to go with them, like go to dinner, go to, with them like restaurants, what to order, right? So it's very interesting, what they allow to eat. And so within these rules, right? Within these rules, like, I think it's very good challenge for us to grow, right? As a ramen chef, to be able to like create, delicious bowl of halal ramen is, I think, a challenge that we should take on to, grow ourselves, grow our ramen skills, techniques, right? To expand our world of ramen by, taking a challenge on like another something totally new to, learn, and then, probably apply to like, regular types of ramen as well. So that's what we have. But like we're gonna take another challenge again, like vegan ramen as well, like another tougher challenge that may be interesting to do, right? So please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already and interested in this kind of topic, right? And so this Friday, same time, like we are doing something that sounds like it probably way easier, yakisoba and yaki udon this Friday, and we already have a space set up for you to get the link to the live workshop. So please go to yamatonoodle.com, and then so please check that out, the link, right? So thank you very much for watching, and then happy Tuesday and Wednesday, you guys. Then hope to see you back in the next workshop on Friday. So thank you very much. Bye bye. ありがとうございます。